Hello, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time. It was a short meditation for 15 minutes, but I hope you all had a beautiful moments. Thank you so much. So first of all, namaste, and thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude to each one of you who have taken out time for this session, for this workshop, and my heartfelt deep gratitude to Madhu Garu and Ram Garu, who have always given this platform to so many people, whereby we can share our experiences, whereby we can actually share every knowledge, every bit of wisdom that I get through the books, through the masters, through our own selves, and through our spirit guides. So, today the session is about spiritual awakening process. Why I gave the name Transcend Yourself is because I think after the end of these 5 days, the consecutive 5 days, I think you will be able to transcend your thoughts. You'll be able to transcend the way you think about certain things, the way you perceive about life, the perspective. It will completely change the way it changed mine. So this session, friends, is a very interactive session because I'm also going to learn from you and you're going to learn from me. And I'm going to share my spiritual awakening process the way you are going to tell me about yours. The more we'll share, the more we will be able to evolve in this process together. This is what my request would be, to be there in these 5 days. So today we are going to understand about spiritual awakening process. Trust me, friends, when we talk about this process, it is one of the most alienating, one of the most confusing, one of the most loneliest process any person can get through. But it is also one of the most beautiful experiences that we can ever go through. So when we talk about spiritual awakening process, I'm not saying that, we are meditators and we are on that pedestal, and that is why we will get to know about this awakening process. I think each and every one, whosoever takes birth on this earth, they are the ones who actually go through that process. The only difference is because we are very much connected to our souls, we are very much in sync with our souls. That is the reason why we get to know about these awakening processes as compared to the others. So sometimes it happens also with us, with me also. What happened was, even if we are going through that process, we know that this process is happening, but still we are not able to sometimes comprehend that process. We are not able to understand that process. We feel very puzzled and we feel very flustered. And that is the reason why, these sessions come as a rescue squad, because they will help you out in all these things. They will help you know what is a spiritual awakening process. This will help you understand on what stage are you in, where are you on the right track, or is it okay to be or to feel like that. So that is why this session is here today. So, when we talk about any spiritual process, it actually marks the beginning of the initiation, you can say, of any spiritual path. And what is unsettling over here in these processes is that it always occurs at that moment when you are least expecting it. Basically, these are the triggers that happen. The triggers of any spiritual awakening process can be any accident, it can be any, you can say, illnesses. It can be any traumatic experience that you might have gone through. It can be a miscarriage. It can be an abortion. It can be a divorce. It can be anything whatsoever. For example, since I always say that my sessions are my experiences, I'll share one experience of mine, and in a very short few sentences. So there was a boy, when he was 17 years old. Today he's 20 years. When he was 17 years old, at that time he fell off the roof, and he was in that state where the doctors had said that he will not be able to recoup at all. He will not be able to walk. He will not, even if he lives, he will be living like a life of a vegetable, you know. But because of that, because of that major accident and his choice of living further with this challenge, today, after 3 years of meditation practice and connecting with the angels that we have been doing together with that boy, he is today 20 years old and he has started walking on his own. But this was the trigger in his life where he actually, there was so much that opened up in his life. He was able to pay more respect and give respect to his own life, to his parents, to his own self, for that matter, because he never thought that this accident will happen. He started playing music. Today he plays piano. So there's so many things. This is a spiritual awakening. And trust me, friends, just because we are the meditators doesn't mean that we are on a higher pedestal than the people who are non-meditators. No, everybody goes through this process. The only thing is that we are aware, we are more conscious of this process, and the other people are not really aware. They're still sleeping. And the awakening process happens when they have to come out of that slumber. And that is why these triggers happen, to wake them off that slumber. Now, the question is, what is a spiritual awakening? What is that? Because usually people do confuse it with enlightenment. So, trust me, friends, let me tell you, spiritual awakening process is not enlightenment. It is the path towards enlightenment. And enlightenment is also not a destination, or any spiritual awakening process is not a destination like people think it is. Because spiritual awakening process peels off the layers, and it can take days together, months together, years together. It can take incarnations together. So, when I was doing past life regression with Dr. Newton, when I was learning from him, so there was a lady uh, who saw her 80 past lives in her regression sessions with Dr. Newton. And when she saw, and when she was able to join the dots, when she was able to calculate in a particular way all these births that she took, she was able to understand that how she was awakening, how her soul was evolving, how her soul was growing. It was a step by step process that was happening. So when you talk about spiritual awakening, to me, if you ask me what is spiritual awakening for me, then spiritual awakening for me is to wake up to life, to enjoy life, to understand life, to understand ourselves. Sometimes it happens that we start feeling that this is it, this is who we are, and we start trying to identify ourselves with that identity. But for me, as far as the spiritual awakening is concerned, it's like shedding off that skin of mine and to actually know who I am. When we are trying to peel off the layers of the old beliefs, the old patterns, social conditioning, parental conditioning that we have been having for so long, that is what spiritual awakening is. In the group, there was a word called pathless path that was being used, and that actually intrigued me also. That word, pathless path. That how is it that we walk on a pathless path? So when we talk about any pathless path, this is the path towards the awakening, because we do not know anything about that path. There is no path. Why there is no path? Because there is unconditional love in that. There is unconditional presence of yourself. You are existing here, but you are still not existing. Your emotions are here, but still you do not recognize with your emotions. I'll give you I'll tell you a story. It's not a story, it's a true event actually. So everybody you might be aware of the Holocaust that happened in Germany. That was in the World War II, and that happened in the reign of Hitler. So you all know that at that time there were Jews who were being put into the gas chambers, and it was being told to them that they will be cleansed, and that is why they were being put into that. And but when they went inside, there was an acid rain. It was a gas that was being put on them, and they died in that. So every day there used to be 15 to 20 people whom they used to take to the gas chamber. So there was a boy who was just 17 or 18 years old, and he knew it was his time to go to the gas chamber. And what happened was that he was very scared of the death. He didn't want to go. Then there was a rabbi who came in there into his cell, into his prison, and he said, "Why are you afraid of? Why don't you do one thing? You give me your T-shirt, and I'll give you mine. I'll take your number. You take mine." And he said, "Okay." And they readily agreed, and they exchanged their T-shirts, and he took his number because in the gas chamber the numbers were being called out, and his number, the child's number, the teenager's number, the 17 who was 17 years old boy, his number was to be called out. So this person, he takes his T-shirt, and he readily agrees to go and sacrifice himself without any fear, and gets into that gas chamber and dies. Now, this is spiritual awakening. How is this spiritual awakening? This man, he gave up everything. You know, we as humans, what is the most important thing for us today, even if we are always denying, it is me, myself. We always deny, no, no, no. My husband is important, my wife is important, my children are important, this is important. But actually, if you start looking inside of yourself, you will see that you are important to yourself. And when you start giving up yourself, when you surrender yourself without any conditions, that is the awakening. So for that person who died without any fear, who went there without any fear and gave up everything, gave up himself, that is the awakening for him. And for the child, for that 17 years old boy, it was a trigger to awaken his own self, because then he did not die. He did not, because that rabbi, he was not supposed to die there. He was not Jew. So he went out, and he actually gave up his life completely for or in the service of the humanity. So this is the pathless path. This is the path less traveled. This is the path where we are on. This is the path where people get scared of traveling. And where we are. This is for me is spiritual awakening. This is the path towards enlightenment for me. So if you talk about my experience, when the spiritual awakening started happening, it was like, I was completely disturbed. I was disappointed with myself. I was unhappy with myself. I did not have any friends to confide in. I did not know what to go and where to go. I did not know anything about it. There was so much of loneliness inside of me. But then, like Patriji says, it is an experience of the lifetime where you transform from a caterpillar to a butterfly. What happens to a caterpillar? The caterpillar knows that something is going to happen, but doesn't know anything what is going to happen. What it does, it just surrenders itself completely to that process. The caterpillar doesn't know that it is going to be a butterfly one day, but it just surrenders, goes through a lot of pain, and then transforms itself into a butterfly. And that transformation is what is spiritual awakening. That transformation is Kundalini awakening. So for me, Kundalini awakening or enlightenment, these are not pompous words. It is there. If I come in contact with the nature, if I start seeing the flower, and if I start seeing and getting the fragrance of that flower without any other thought in my mind, and just start being in that gratitude that it is there and giving me all the beauty, that is spiritual awakening for me. If there is a mother who is giving birth to a child and I am looking at it and I'm observing it, that is spiritual awakening for me. And let me tell you, friends, these are my experiences, these are my words, because this is what I experience. It can be different to you. It can be absolutely different to you, because everybody's process is unique. Everybody's process is absolutely different from what I am saying. I'm not saying that whatever I go through, whatever I have been going through, you will go through the same. No, you will not. Trust me. There are people whom I know who are so evolved. They're so evolved that they don't have to go through these pains, because these were the questions that were being put forward to me. That why do we have to go through so much of pain if the spiritual awakening happens? So let me tell you, friends, it is all because on which level of evolution are we on? That is why we should not compare ourselves absolutely, and we should not have a spiritual ego as well. Because when we talk about the soul evolution, we evolve from a baby's infant soul to baby, to young soul, to mature soul, to old soul, to transcendental, and then the infinite soul. This is the soul's journey that takes place, and the awakening process takes place according to our soul's journey. So today, if I say that I am a baby soul, probably my friend might be an old soul. And accordingly, the spiritual awakening process happens. That is why we should not compare the journeys, and we should not have a spiritual ego also, that oh my God, I am an old soul and I know so much better. No, the soul is a soul, and it is evolving at whatever rate it is or it might be. Now the question is, why do spiritual awakening happens? When we talk about the spiritual awakening, you might all be aware of the pre-birth planning. So even if you're not aware, I'll just tell you in brief words that when we take birth, before that we plan our birth. We plan what sort of circumstances or parents or situations are to be there, which is the place where we are going to take birth, what are the challenges we are going to face according to the karmic baggage that we are carrying with us, according to our karmic memory or cellular memory that we have with us. So what happens is the basic idea behind every incarnation is that the soul has to evolve and grow and expand. So when we start thinking, because it will happen in your journey also, that okay, we have arrived, this awakening process is there and we have arrived there. As soon as you will feel that okay, I've arrived there, I have done everything on myself, I have done all the inner work, I have done everything, now it's the time for me to go out, there will be something that will again come up. So awakening process is a process. It will never stop. The moment it stops, the moment you feel there is a stagnation, you will die. The soul will be dead. So there is no stagnation as far as this process is concerned. It will keep evolving, it will keep generating its own self, it will keep moving ahead, it will keep growing ahead. It can be a very painful and disturbing process, let me tell you that. And but it is something, this process is something that will ultimately actually help you to live a more meaningful life. Now I'm going to tell you about the stages that I have gone through. So it is not, when we talk about an awakening process or awakening stages, these are my stages. So it is not necessary that it will happen to you also the same way, or it will happen to you in this chronological way, the way I am going to tell you now, because everything is different with everybody. And it is not necessary that the soul goes from A to B to C to D. It may go from A to Z straight away, because when we talk about any spiritual awakening process, it is a roller coaster ride. It is not a linear process. It is not A, B, C, D. It is not a staircase that you are ascending. It can be anything. So now I'm going to tell you about my stages of spiritual awakening. So My first stage was unhappiness and despondency. That was the first stage that I, when my awakening process was happening. So this was a time of confusion for me. This was a time of disconnection for me. This was a time of alienation and depression for me because I was not able to understand myself. Because I was searching for something and I didn't know anything about what I was searching for. There was a feeling inside of me. There was a thirst. There was a feeling that I need something. My soul is yearning for something, and I didn't know anything about it. What it was. So there was so much of emptiness inside of me. I could not even tell anybody about this. I could not tell about this, that I was going through this, but I was going through this. So after that, it was the second stage which happened after some time. That was when my perspective towards life started shifting. And how it happened was, how it started shifting was when I started seeing life in a very different way. When I started seeing and experiencing life in a different way. When I started actually seeing the sufferings and the pains of the other people, and I started becoming compassionate towards not only the humans but the animals. When I started seeing the life in every fundamental objects, in every fundamental living being that is there present in our earth. So what happened was I started, my perspective absolutely changed. The people whom I used to have resentment towards, all of a sudden there was so much of love for them inside of me, and I could not understand what was happening to me. That why was I feeling this? They had done so much wrong to me. Why am I feeling all of a sudden this feeling? Why am I having this happened when I started meditating a lot. This happened when was reading a lot of books and started spending the time with myself and with the angels. So there were so many questions that were coming to me, and I needed the answers, that I didn't know whom to ask the questions. Because I knew whenever Patri says, I used to ask this question, he used to say, go within, deep within, and you will know the answer. And absolutely, he was right. There is nobody who can give you the answers to these questions because the answers lies within. Every answer that you ask for, every question that you ask, the soul asks, the answer is there within you, and it will come to you, provided you are listening to yourself, provided you are listening to your soul, provided you are listening to your intuition, provided you are listening to your higher self. Then came the third stage. When the third stage came, it was, I was seeking for something. So the stage was of seeking answers. So at that time, what happened was I was trying to dabble into so many metaphysical tools and divination tools and esoteric material, and I was doing, so many things at that time because I wanted the answers. I was seeking for that particular guidance. I was seeking for that particular answer. It just so happened that I also, started the art of living course, and but there was something that was missing. I didn't like it. It was like, it is not something that is connected to me. It is something that my soul doesn't want. So maybe there is something different that is awaiting there. And then I started shifting again and again and again. I started shifting. I started listening to so many masters. And then there was only the Anapanasati meditation, which actually connected. And then my soul was at rest. It was like, yes, it is. And that is why there's so many people, who keep dabbling into so many other practices and techniques, and finally they come to a one thing. For example, some people go to Vipassana, some people go to inner engineering, to Sadhguru. Some people go and follow God Gopal Das. They do that. But for me, Anapanasati was it. That yes, this is something that I'm going to get. I'll get the answers from. Then fourth stage is when I have found the answers, when I started finding the answer, there was a breakthrough. This was the time when I was completely elated. I was so joyous. There was so much of happiness. There was so much of overwhelming feeling that, oh my God, what is happening to me? I was so happy because I started getting the answers slowly, gradually. And when I started connecting with the angels were answering me back, and I was able to get connected towards them. So that was something that actually gave or helped me my existential suffering. Because what happened was, now whatever the soul was searching for, it was there. And now I started, actually what happened was, I started questioning my own belief systems, that whatever I'm thinking, I was thinking, I've been thinking, that was it true? The questions like, who am I? Questions like, what will happen to me after death? Questions like, what is my sole purpose? These things started falling on me now, but I was in a very elated state. Now, the next stage, again, the disillusionment. The next stage was again that I started feeling very lost. Because trust me, friends, awakening process, as I said, it is not a linear process. It is not a process which is very, defined, where you are not happy and then you are absolutely happy and you are in a blissful state 24/7. No, it doesn't happen that way at all. You will. It is like a roller coaster ride. It's like, there will be an ebb, there will be a flow. You'll go, 2 steps ahead, you'll go 3 steps behind. So it is like that. So I was again disillusioned. Again, that feeling of loneliness was, creeping inside of me. There was disillusionment. I was craving for something more. So there are so, longer periods of these things, when you want to sit alone with yourself. You don't want to, chat with your friends. You don't want to be with your friends. You don't want to party around. You just want to be with yourself, ours together, and you want some answers. That is all. So this was happening. The graph was just going up and down and up and down and up and down. This was happening at that time with me. And then this next stage, it was the inner work. When these questions started cropping up, when these questions started coming up to me, that was the time when the inner work, the thing of inner work started. That, okay, I have to do some work on myself, then only will I get the answers to the questions that I'm asking for. It cannot happen unless and until I start cleaning and purging and purifying myself. I have to purge my thoughts. I have to change my emotions. I have to accept myself the way I am in, be it with the flaws, be it with the imperfections. I have to do that because I am made like that. I am not perfect. The shame that I had, that I'm not perfect, was slowly and gradually ebbing away, because now I need to do the inner work in order to get that confidence, to get that self love back, to get that self worth back, to get that self esteem back. And it could have been possible only when I started, when I could surrender myself to this inner work. And spiritual awakening process is equal to inner work. Unless and until you do this deep inner work, you will not be able to be in this process. You will not be. You'll just keep circling down in this process. You will think that you are in the process, but you will not, because your ego self will always tell you, you know, will take you somewhere which you're not, where you're not supposed to take. Then stage 7 is the integration. The integration means whatever the soul has learned, whatever as a personality I have learned from different masters, from different books, I start integrating that. I start taking all the spiritual lessons and I start implementing them, and then sharing my experiences. Just like Patriji says, Sajjan Sagatya. Sajjan Sagatya is very, very important, because this is what happens when we share the experiences. We will be able to uplift the other person when I starts dissolving and we starts coming. When we start understanding our oneness, that the person who is sitting next to me, I don't have to compare, I don't have to compete with that person, because that person is me. So I have to give all the love to that person. That is the final stage of spiritual awakening, when you start giving without any agenda, without any negative feeling, without any emotion, without having any negative feeling inside of you, without having any jealousy or hatred, without having any feeling of envy or competition. that is the time of, or that is a step, last step of spiritual awakening. That is the integration, when we start integrating. So this is something that, I have gone through, and I am still work in progress. As I always say, that I'm working on myself. I'm work in progress. I am my favorite project. I keep working on myself every single moment, every single day, and for me that is spiritual awakening. So slowly and gradually you will see that in these coming 4 days, you'll be able to feel the layers of your own process. You'll be able to feel your levels, layers, the layers of your mind, your layers of your body, the layers of your soul, through this process, through these sessions. So I will conclude whatever I have to say by just one statement, that if you want to face the rainbow, you have to bear the rain as well. So this is what the spiritual awakening process is. If you want to be there where you want to be, where the soul wants to be, it has to go through that pain, it has to go through that suffering, then only it will be able to be one with the source. So this is what my spiritual awakening has been, and is still progressing towards a better future, better towards a better incarnations, towards a better life. So now I would request all of you to come up and share your journeys, and what I mean, after this session, after listening to me, has something triggered inside of you? Has or do you feel that, yes, whatever I was saying, you were resonating with it? So I'd request all of you to come up, because it's an interactive session, we learn from each other. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you. Yes, Sumati ji. Yes.
Thank you again for such a wonderful session, Sharoo. It was brilliant, really good. Um, it was so nice. I felt that, I could actually rhyme with what you have said. I too did not know what I was searching for, what I was seeking for. I've been blessed in every way, but there was a void. And my husband would tell me, you're just not contented with what you have. It was difficult for me to tell him and to explain. Though I've got friends globally and I'm a people's person. I'm very much a people's person. I need to go out. I like to, globe trotting. We travel vastly. But yes, I was seeking something. I didn't know what I was searching for. My journey started with seeking for, something beyond what I could do with the normal prayer,
Mm,
standing at the altar. So I am still under Isha, and I did what I had to do. Went through the pre-course and then the course, and it went onto the Shambhavi Mahamudra.
mm,
And though it was wonderful, that was my first light to go beyond what I had known. That was a fantastic light, what Sadhguru had shared.
yeah.
And I did see him a couple of times in London, when he came for courses. And then just like you, I've been into art of living, and we still
Mm,
have our Guruji from India. We a group of ladies, about six of us, we still have our 2 hourly, which happens session every few weeks. Even that I am not attending because I don't have an interest. I feel I know beyond that. And it's strange you say that because I was sitting on, I was contemplating about a particular course on silence course, but I was supposed to go for Vipassana. But because of the COVID, I had declined. And I thought, no, I think going for Vipassana would be a better thing because you are there and meditating. But then there's something else. There's a silence course in Art of Living, which I've been contemplating yesterday. Should I go? Should I not go? Should I go? And you've answered my query. And yeah, I too keep going on a sinusoidal wave sign. And I wonder, why is this happening? If you ask me, I would just love to sit here and listen to all the masters. I'm actively starting my face to face clinics next Monday. It's only Zoom sessions and clinics now. But that's all I want to do. And I'm thinking, am I abnormal? What is wrong? And we've moved home. I mean, we moved from a beautiful home to another beautiful home because I say beautiful because I wanted privacy and I wanted lots of nature, lots of green.
Mm.
And okay, I enjoyed. I probably knew that was my house before we even made an offer. It was so deep seated. I had lots of future journeys that I could see and dream. And then, okay, that euphoria is over and I'm back to square one. That's it. This is what I like. Honestly, it's
Mm.
so amazing. You've answered it all. You've answered it all. And it's no just green flag. You have a tip. And it's difficult for me to explain to my husband and kids. And he still thinks I'm crazy. There's something that I'm searching because I'm not contented. So I'm glad you've told me the insight of the spiritual journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vijay. Thank you for sharing your experience. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Is there anyone else who wants to share their experiences or ask any question or share anything or whatever you are going through? Please feel free here. There's no judgment here. Nobody's judging your journey or you.
Good morning, Sharoo.
Hi. Hi, Archana.
Hello,
How?
hello, hello. Yeah, hi. So, very nice, and we keep listening to whatever you said, but like today, like everything was put together very nicely. And you were telling that like everyone has their own journey and own, they have their own place in that journey at their own level. But for some reason, I felt that my experiences and yours almost coincided. Almost
Uh-huh.
like as Sumati ji was also saying, it's like rhyming. For me also, I was like thinking it's almost like, uh, you know, बिल्कुल एक जैसा मतलब बिल्कुल एक जैसा. And I too felt the same thing which you're saying, like ups and downs. I was not sure that, I was thinking it's always going up. Then
Mm-hmm.
at time when I would feel low, in fact, I asked a couple of times, I guess Madhu and Ram also,
Mm-hmm.
why, I feel low. And then later on, like today I got the clarity also that, it's always like, it's not always tangential. It just keeps, it's a roller coaster. And, and I got the clear understanding of, spiritual awakening. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm experiencing whatever you said, but that is called as the term. It is termed as spiritual awakening. I was not aware of that,
Uh-huh.
like the term. And whatever you said was exactly like how I feel like this last 1 year. And it's the same thing. I had this Sadhguru Ji ka. I had like three
Mm-hmm.
levels. I went till Shambhavi Mahamudra, and then like I did art of living and a couple of other things. But finally, I settled to this. And the day I started Anapanasati, meditation last year, until today, I'm not sure if I've missed even one day. I don't remember. Like either, like maybe even if for 10 minutes or 50 minutes, I continue. So probably, I guess I kind of connected to this particular kind of meditation. And thanks for the clarity, because I really went through whatever you were telling today. Even in this 1 year, like not just before, even in this 1 year, what ups and downs and the clarity. And this is true. Like, sometimes I feel joyous for like no reason whatsoever. No reason. I mean, I'm like, it's kind of weird for a people, like a regular common man. Ki, why are you happy for no reason?
Yes.
Because you're not
Yes.
used to this aspect. Like, you're always like,
True.
feeling low, depressed, always in complaint. ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये क्यों हो रहा है, ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है? Why are the people? But like we are used to that kind of. And I like your point that like not necessarily everyone has to be in the meditation field, because they might be evolved souls, and they might be having because I sometimes feel like my kids are far more matured. What I'm learning since this last 1 year, I think they know a lot of things before. So that's another clarity which you said today, like everyone in their own journey. And I really felt it would have been good to have your recording to just listen again. But because I'm very happy, and I'm glad I could make
Thank
it.
you.
I was not sure, but thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank
Big
you.
Master.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Archana, for sharing your experience with all
Uh,
of us. I'm
yeah,
really, really thankful to you. Thank you, Archana.
thank you, Phil. And
I,
thanks to Madhu and Ram, as usual, as you say,
yeah,
they provide us this platform, yes,
yes,
so, things get cleared, things in our
yes,
mind get clarified. Thank you.
yes, yes. So I would just request everybody that, please do not judge the people who are non-meditators because they are also on their own journeys. And you don't know, but their soul will also be, you can say, rising at a very exponential rate, even if they are not aware of that. But still, they are working because I know a person myself, and there are in fact two people, two families whom I know. Especially, there's one person who is he's always on a joyous state, who's always in a state of gratitude, but he's not a meditator. He's a very good friend of mine. He's not a meditator, but he's always in that state of mind that he's just, giving gratitude, giving charity to the people, helping out people, and his soul is actually, moving on a very exponential rate. So we are not supposed to, judge anyone. Everybody has their own ways to grow, to evolve. Yes, you can teach them if they are willing to. You can teach them how to meditate, and rest is up to them. It's their journey. Yeah. So thank you, Archana. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes, Madhumita ji. Yes.
Uh, Hi, ma'am. So I just wanted to share my experience
Oh,
as well.
Madhu.
I,
Okay. Yes.
yeah,
Can I
I
can I see
actually,
you? Just open your video, please. I just want to see you.
just a second.
Yes. So Madhu is a beautiful soul. She's very young, and she's into meditation. She's been teaching meditation. She's been taking so many sessions now, and she is a beautiful soul. So she's Pavnigaru's daughter, and yes, let's welcome her and listen to her. Thank you so much. Yes, Madhu.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I wanted to share my experience. So I also went through such a journey where right before coming into meditation, I went into a lot of depression and I used to have very frequent suicidal thoughts. So in that state, I felt like I was drowning. I used to be a very joyous child, but because of certain situations, I went through a lot of fear and a lot of shame. So that made me very depressed. So in that situation, just something deep inside me said that this is not the way I should live. This is not a life that I wanted for myself. I want to be happy irrespective of anything. I want to be happy despite any conditions or anything. I just want to be happy in any situation. So that thing I feel like that brought meditation into my life, because I used to do Reiki before that, but it didn't set right with me. So right after that, meditation came and it just completely changed my life. It now when I look back, uh, Madhumita before meditation and after meditation is like
Wow.
see difference. Yeah, so that awakening I also went through, and even after coming into meditation, I'm learning a lot of lessons where I certain feelings come into me where I feel very sad or hopeless. Then again I check myself where am I lacking that knowledge. I see
Wow.
into myself. Then I realize that okay, this is a pattern that have I have been carrying since a lots of life. So I have to cut this pattern. Then I change myself. That's a very beautiful journey, I
Yes.
must say. We should not be very discouraged by the sadness or the low feelings. Rather, we should check ourselves and observe where we have to fill in that knowledge. So what gaps we have to fill in. So that's something I'm also going through, and I'm very grateful that meditation came into my life and such kind of spiritual I'm sangha came into my life through PSSM. Yes.
Wow. I'm so happy, Madhumita, you shared your journey with all of us because you are an inspiration to so many people because you're very young and you started with so many. Quite a thank you so much, Sapna.
It was great experience. I really enjoyed every word you said, and it was kind of a always enjoy. It really brings a lot of peace within me, and I should actually say that whatever Madhumita just shared, and it's not necessary that you feel sad and then once you're happy, that's the only stage that you're going to be. But because I myself experienced that during the last 1 year. I started doing anapanasati meditation since last 1 year, and it was going great. I felt really good, and after out of where I don't know, out of nowhere, I again started feeling really sad, and for whatever reason, it's not like I don't enjoy my life or I don't have things that make me joyous. Everything is there. It's again one of the listeners just mentioned that you have everything, but you just don't feel like you're contented, right? It's like you're searching for something different and searching for something else. And so that's what happened. But for whatever reason, I got drifted from meditation. And whenever I would sit for meditation, I would just get a thought, no, this is not going to help you. You're not going to do this. And again, there were a lot of arguments happening, a lot of sadness coming back. And but for some reason, again, I thought, no, this is the only way which is going to help me to, go and reach the goal that I want. And since last, I think, since last 20 days or so, I've been very regular with my meditation and trying to, listen to all the masters telling, uh, mm, sharing their knowledge and things like that. So it has been very helpful, and it's so far it's been great. And I just hope that I stay on this path and reach the goal and get what I'm looking for. Yeah,
Wow,
and yeah,
amazing,
right.
amazing.
So,
Yeah.
just one question, Sharuji.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, I just want to know how long have you been on this journey? How long did it take for you to, move from your steps and path forward? I know you mentioned that it is still a work in progress, but how long have you been on this journey?
I think 11 years. It's been 11 years now.
Wow. So 11 years is from the point where you
Yeah, I started
thought,
meditating. I
okay,
started meditating from 2011. And
okay,
after that, what happened was in that period, during that period, I started having these feelings, whatever I've been discussing with you.
correct.
So that was the beginning of
Mm-hmm,
actually knowing who I was. So, and that was the beginning when Patricia says, go within, deep within, and you will get the
mm-hmm,
answers. Because I
mm-hmm.
used to ask the questions to him that, what do I do? I'm stuck. I don't know how to move forward. And he used to say,
Right.
go within and you will get the
Okay.
answers. And actually, people used to find it very rude that he doesn't answer. But actually, what he was doing was he was just not like a normal guru because he was not holding our hand that way, but he was
Uh-huh.
actually, taking us to the light and
Correct.
showing us that, okay, this is the light and you have to reach that to that pole, to that light yourself. I'm going to be there, but I'm not going to handhold you and take you there, that kind of a thing.
Wonderful.
So I did that. And today I'm grateful to Patrisa and all the masters who
Mm-hmm.
helped me to reach where I am. But the only today the appalling thing is that people always feel that this word spiritual awakening or the enlightenment is they're very heavy words, and everybody has to go through. But spiritual awakening is a very simple process where you are present at the very moment and you are being here with yourself at that
Mm-hmm.
very moment. That is the only awakening. That is awakening when you are devoid of any thoughts. There are no thoughts at all. You're just trying to be present here in this moment and enjoying that particular moment. That is the awakening. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for explaining this. Actually, uh, in this conversation, you just answered most of my questions. It was like same thing was happening with me. Like, am I on the right path? What am I
Yes.
doing? What do I do? And you just said that, okay, Patriji's message to you, go within.
Yes.
I guess
Yes.
that's probably what I need to follow too. So thank you so much for helping me out,
Thank you
Charu.
so much. Thank you, Sapnaji. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And, you know, I'm really thankful to each one of you who have just spared your time and you're being here and listening to all of us and to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Madhugaru, I'm waiting. Yes.
That was a wonderful, wonderful session, Charu. I completely enjoyed and I also loved listening to everybody's experiences, Madhumita's and Sumatiji's and others. So I would like to share my spiritual awakening process when it all happened. So my journey into spirituality started in the year of 2009 as I got married to my husband Ram, and he's been practicing meditation with Patriji. His family has been meditating with Patriji from 1998. So that was very new for me because I was never into meditation. I was more into prayers. I don't say that was wrong. It is again a process to make me ready to come into the path of meditation because I was more into Shirdi Sai Baba. So I was doing a lot of prayers and bhajans and all these things, and it was not very difficult for me to come into meditation. However, there was some the jolt has to happen. That means there was some, there is a very strong pause button should happen in one's life to reflect upon where are we, where are we heading to? And that happened to me in the year of 2009, right after I got married in 2008 to Ram, and immediately we moved to Egypt, and I was alone, and there was no friends and family. So I wanted to become a mother, just to become busy, just to be occupied. And I became pregnant, and after it didn't stay long because I right now I know that it was my sole plan, that I decided that it has to happen in this way. As Sharu was mentioning before, like this miscarriages, abortions, accidents, illnesses, any kind of problems that we are facing in our life is a process, that is a door to the enlightenment, or that is a door to the spiritual awakening. And for me, in that year, in 2009 August, that was the door that opened in my life, a new door wherein I had to embrace new things. I have to shed my old skin, what I have been thinking from long. So I have to break the pattern, I have to break the chain. And then when my father-in-law came to Egypt, my in-laws came to Egypt, they said, Ma, you've been doing a lot of things, but now at least try sit in meditation for some time. Nobody in the world could answer your questions. So you have to just go within. As Patriji always says, just go within. I cannot give you any answers. Do meditation, do meditation, do meditation. That's what he says. And my father-in-law is also like that. And he said, you meditate. And then, friends, I'm telling you, I practiced meditation a week, a rigorous practice I did. And afterwards, there is a huge joy, there is a huge shift in me. And as Sharu also said, the real enlightenment is when you share what you know. You don't keep it to yourself. Today, Sharu is coming and sharing her journey and sharing her stories here because it is very important so that something, like some spark in us get ignited, that's where we say, oh, if Sharu had gone through like that, or if Madhumita had gone through like that, if I had gone through like that, yes, I can also come out of this. The sharing is very important. And from then I started sharing my journey, whatever I have experienced. I'm telling you, before that I was a very shy girl, and then as I told, that practice of meditation helped me to shed the old skin and to embrace the new patterns into my life. And from then there is no looking back, as it's a roller coaster ride, as Sharu also said. There are ups and downs, but uh, you know but we are very conscious. The more we practice meditation, it doesn't mean that you don't have any problems in your life. There will be problems, but how conscious are you with the problems? Are you treating the problems like you were treating before? Are you aware of it, that it is part of your soul plan, or is it part of your karma? That is the understanding. That is the when you have this kind of understanding, that you are already awakened. So it's a roller coaster ride. Sometimes we go down, but still we bring ourselves up because we know the key. So this is my journey, friends, and I'm really happy that Charu had initiated this 5D workshop, and each day it's going to be a new journey, I'm sure, and I'm very happy that each and every one of you have joined and enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, Charu, once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and sharing your journey with all of us, because it is very important for all of us to share our journeys. Because sometimes people are very shy; they don't want to come out of it, and they are just going in circles, and they don't know how to get out of this, and they just get stuck. And it is very important when they see these things happening, they also get an impetus, they get a push from the back that, okay, yes, I can also do. If they can do, I can also do. So thank you so much, Madhugaru,
Thank you,
for
Charu.
sharing your experience. Thank you. Yes, Madhulaji. Yes, thank you.
Good morning, Sharoo. It's evening for you. Thank you for this
Yes,
beautiful session. I
thank
just
you.
want to make a couple of comments from hearing everything, just from a recent experience I had with a friend. So, one of the misconceptions of meditation is that many people think that it has a religious connotation, it's particular to some kind of religion. It is not. It's open to all religions. Everybody can meditate. You can be any religion. Most of the people that I'm affiliated with are Christian faith. So they're worried that is this some kind of religion practice? It's a practice for everyone of every religion. That it's a practice of mindfulness. It's a practice of reaching a state. Many people visualize whoever their faith is. So I just wanted to make that one comment, Sharu.
Thank
And the
you.
other thing is, before I started meditating, I also had this. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I was born with it or I don't know, but I didn't understand until I joined PSSM, until I started meditating what was happening in my life. I was able to manifest many things in my life over the course of years, and I was able to think that I could if I wanted something in my life, I had this knowing that I could manifest it. Does that make sense, Sharu?
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
and I didn't know why that is possible. I didn't share with anyone throughout the course of my life. And I knew that if there's something missing, that I can replace that missing. I knew that it was never coming from the outside. I just had this knowing. But,
Yes,
and some people, like you said, just because they're not meditators does not mean that they're less or do not know, we should look down upon them. No, because they're at a different level. But I, by it took me the meditation, coming into PSSM, what some of the experiences that I was having. I even had an astral travel experience I shared on one of the Beam sessions. So it brought clarity. It grounded me. It brought awareness. So, and these are the things that meditation does. And it also gives us tools, like when we're caught in the ups and downs. Just because we
yes,
meditate does not mean that there's no up and down. But it gives us tools when we're in the down part, how to be. And then we have these wonderful group sessions that we can talk like this, Sharu,
yes,
with you sharing so much, and then we can share, and it's freeing. It liberates us.
yes.
So I just wanted to share that, and I want to thank you for all your this insights and sharing. And for members of the group, I shared, if you want to contact Sharu, there's some links for you. So just please feel free to contact her. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you so much, Dilati. I'm so grateful to you for being here, for taking out your precious time, because I know you've been very busy, your patience, and but still you come here, you share your experiences, and you lighten us up with your quotes every day, and you really make so much of efforts to uplift us every day. So thank you so much, for sharing the experience. I'm really honored, and thank you, thank you.
Uh,
Yes,
Thank you very much, Sharoo, for the very one beautiful session.
thank you.
I'm 78 years old and I'm from UK. And I've been practicing transcendental meditation for a long time.
Mhm.
I started, you talked about the jolt, which
Mm,
makes you start. And it was problems where I was having with my husband and my son and getting caught in between them and didn't know what to do and crying and, things were going all
mm,
wrong. And that kind of stuff happened quite a lot. And so
mhm,
uh, that is when I decided, no, I have to do something for myself. How do I deal with these kind of situations? And I had a friend who was doing transcendental meditation,
mhm,
and she said that, why don't you come and join, learn transcendental meditation. At that time, the place where they were teaching transcendental meditation was pretty close to my house. So
mhm,
I started doing it, and I was doing morning and evening twice a day.
mhm,
And over a period of time, I found myself changing. I
mm,
found myself stepping out of the victim position, in life.
mhm,
And I was able to look in from outside and see what exactly was going on between, you know, and I was able to keep myself calm in those situations, which was very important.
mhm.
You know, okay. Before and all, I used to cry, I used to shout and everything. I can't take this anymore and all that. But that slowly died down in myself. And I would rather be calm and not react. And my husband used to say, "You're not reacting at all. What is the matter with you?" Okay.
Mhm,
I
mhm,
said, "I don't feel like reacting. Right? I don't feel like reacting. I just want to be quiet."
mhm.
Right? And you too have to resolve your problems.
Yes.
I don't want to be dragged into it, okay, to take sides. And then that happened, and then my son went off to university and all that, and changed. And my relationship with my son wasn't very good,
Mhm,
okay, because he used to get angry with me. He used to say I'm interfering in his life, and all that kind of stuff was going on.
mhm.
But again, through meditation, instead of reacting to what he was saying all the time, which can be very hurtful sometimes, okay, uh, I said, okay, let me look at what is going on within me, right, that is
Right.
causing, making him say that. It's
Mhm,
like, you point a finger at one person, the other four fingers are pointing towards you, okay. So I need to look inside what is going
mm.
on. What is it
True.
I got to do to change the situation? So I just took a step back, and I
Yes.
started listening to him instead of reacting. I started listening.
Mhm,
And he felt I was there for him when I started listening. And I was
mm,
not making any comments, or I was not say you got to do this or you got to do that. I but I became a listener instead.
mm.
Only when he wanted it, asked my suggestions, I gave my suggestions.
Yes.
And that really improved our relationship. And we have a really lovely relationship now between us.
Wow. Wow.
And that has happened only through meditation,
Yes.
really through meditation. I'm able to look inside now, as to what is going on.
Absolutely. Mm. Thank you. It was lovely share because it makes a lot of difference because the relationship issues that we have today, everything when we go through this awakening process, they also go topsy turvy, and we really have to. And when this processes happen, it gives us an understanding of what we are, where we are, and it gives us a different perspective of everything, all the relationships that we have today. Like I did, I got this information, I got this change in the perspective. And when there was a change, there was a change in the relationship, each and every relationship that was there in my life. So so thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. Thank you. It
Malati.
was lovely hearing you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Malati ji. Thank you so much. Shukriya. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, Madhuri. Hi. Yes. Please.
Hi, Sharoo. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. It is so great actually to listen all the masters experience how they are journeying with their spiritual and their enlightenment and their experiences. Really great, actually. Amazing. I never had this platform, to be frank. I'm also like Madhuram, as she said, that I'm also a very, very shy person. Very, very shy, actually. Even today also I'm very shy. That's why I keep on thinking, okay, let me wait till everyone finish. Let me go like slowly. Not to come up and open up and talk. But basically I'm talking so much, but still internally from inside, I'm very, very shy. Like my
Mhm.
profession makes me to talk, like talk, but basically like inside. And I should actually appreciate Madhuram especially. I would really, really give my thanking, all my gratitude to Madhuram, which she made me to come out of some situations. But my spiritual journey started at a very young age, I think, because unknowingly, I don't know, but unknowingly, my father was died in a very young age, so we have to struggle a lot, and I'm the only one to screw up myself. But I enjoyed in every situation. Like, I don't know, but every difficult situation, I faced it so well. And my mom always used to say that you are a really like a, I don't know what she used to call, but she always used to encourage me that you have a light in yourself. You take the thing so well, and everybody is motivated with you and inspired with you. And I think that the journey was started that way. But real enlightenment, or the real knowing about the things, what they are actually, I came to know very recently after my mom died. It took ages, I think, like, even though I am traveling in that path, I didn't know that, to be frank. I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Though I was able to take it everything in every situation in a very positive way, and not to complain or not to feel bad about it. Yes, I had a lot of questions. Even today, I have so many questions. Why the like kind of a astral travel, you call them as, like, why I
Mhm.
get the dreams, why they are happening in the life, and what's all about, like the souls, especially when the soul
Mhm.
is going away, they are popping me and saying that, hey Madhvi, I'm just going away. Why me? Why should I get the pain of these souls who are leaving it? Like I said recently about my uncles, they died.
Mhm.
They were also in my you know consciousness and saying that we are leaving. I was like, why are they saying to me? Like, so, but I understood now. I understood with all your sessions with the great masters what it is all about. And I also came out of my mom's depression, I would say. It's not kind of depression, but it's a grief. It's a deep, deep pain. I wouldn't have achieved this without this group, I would say. And I'm really meditating a lot, actually. I don't say like 4 or 5 hours, but even if I sit for 1 hour, I feel so much joy inside me, like so much. I got introduced to myself first, yeah, to know about me, what am I, and everything. And it's a really immense pleasure that you will find it when you sit for yourself with the calmness, and the way you achieve yourself. All about yourself, like how you could face the things, how you could come out of every situation. All these these teachings and also the sharings, it's really, I have no words to say, actually.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you,
really.
Mama.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank you so
really
much.
great.
Thank
Really.
you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you so much for sharing this. As I said, that it means a lot. Whosoever shares, hats off to them because they come out of their comfort level and they share their experiences. They just take their they put their shyness aside, and they put their introvert nature aside, and they put all the self doubts they have aside, and then they come back that they come and speak on this platform. So yes, I'm very happy today that I could hear and I could learn from everybody. Before I end this session, I would like to tell all of you that tomorrow it is going to be the inner work. Inner work, that is the understanding of inner work, will be there. How you can trust your intuition. What is an intuition? Why intuition is always necessary for an awakening process. So we are going to go step by step here. So tomorrow there will be a deeper understanding of the inner work that is going to take place in another 3 days time. So why are we doing the inner work? What is the need for us to do the inner work? Why should we do the inner work? So this is going to be the topic for tomorrow. That is the inner work and the intuition. So I would request all of you to be here in all these 4 days. And thank you so much, whosoever has written in the chat section. And thank you so much for everyone, whosoever came here and listened to this. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for taking out time. And thank you, Madhugaru, for being here with all of us. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mudalazi. Thank you so much. And thank
Thank you
you,
so
everyone.
much, Charu, for giving us time and sharing all the wonderful topics. Yeah, very much helpful at this period of time. Thank you so much,
Thank
Charu.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you tomorrow again at the same time with a beautiful meditation session and with all of you beautiful people. So come here with a smile again on your faces and keep saying, I love you. I love you to yourself. So this is what it is all about, loving yourself. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you
Thank you,
and
We
love you
Charu.
love
guys. Thank
we
you.
love you,
Thank,
Sharu.
We
We
Yeah,
love
love you.
all.
we love you
thank
too.
you.
I love you
I
too.
Thank you,
I love you too.
Thank
Sharuji.
you,
Thank you,
Sharu. Thank you.
Sharuji. Thank you, Motherji.
Thank you.
Wanted to say something, but I'll say something tomorrow.
Thank
Yes,
you,
on that day.
Bhavnaji.
Thank you so
Please.
we
much.
love you much
Love you.
too. Madhu and
Thanks.
Sharu.
Bye.
Beautiful, beautiful
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
sentiments.
Beautiful.
We love it, love it, love it. That's all I can say.
Definitely.
Hugs, hugs, hugs,
Thank
love,
you.
love,
Thank you
love.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take
Thank
Yeah.
care.
you.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Mother.
Love
Bye
and
bye.
lots of kisses, like how the dog does it, like. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.